welcome to the Art of Living Fearlessly. I'm going to introduce my co-host, Ivan Trainer. Okay, and Ivan is he was a professor at NYU. He's a great marketing agent. He works out 7 days a week. He's in great shape. That's why he's here. And that's about it.
And I'd like to introduce my co-host, Art Driscoll, author, actor, personal trainer with over, what is it, Art? 3 decades of experience? How about so? And also mentor to a lot of people as well.
Okay.
And he has had a lot of success doing personal training for celebrities, for actors, for CEOs, and just regular people like ourselves.
Okay. Before we start, I want to shout out to Mac Fitness in Kingston, New York, and also to Bolo CBD Products. They're an organic CBD company. They grow it in the US of A in Colorado. Okay, they have 15 great products. I use all the products myself. I work out 7 days a week. Without that, I could not work out every day. They have great gummies to relax, great topical ointments, fantastic company. If you want 20% off, go to bololiving.com and use the code AD18. That's bololiving.com, AD18. Ivan, what's on the agenda?
Well, Art, I want you to tell us why the name, The Art of Living Fearlessly.
You know, we had discussed that quite a bit. We were going to do it, do a show called Younger Body Now. But I think that in this day and age, people are really afraid, especially with, COVID, and people can't think for themselves. So I want to do a podcast to try to help people think for themselves. Okay, not let the media or anybody else, if you have fear, it destroys your life.
Absolutely.
You can't do that. So in this podcast, I want to bring in a lot of guests that have, lived their life fearlessly, and they're very successful. And they all have one thing in common: they work out really, really hard. Okay, and they make their own judgments. Okay.
And Art, what do you say is the success that you've had? Because you train people in separate age groups, all
Right.
ranges.
Yes.
And how do you fit that? How do you model your training?
It depends on, like right now in my life, I only take on people that are very serious. I don't take on beginners because it's no fun anymore. I was in the city 25 years, and I took on a lot of clients because you want to make money. But now I just take a lot of seniors and I make them super fit. And I think the reason why they're so much better than other seniors is because they're taking their life into their own hands. They're not afraid. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I had a client that we were doing Bosu ball balance, and I put her on one leg, and she couldn't do it. She was like, I said, listen, calm down, meditate, have no fear, and you'll be able to do it. And she did, and she started on one leg, Bosu ball. So I think attitude is really crucial. I think a lot of people during the pandemic were like scared. They didn't go out of their house.
Absolutely.
Okay. And they didn't work out. The clients I had were, of course, they wore masks, they got vaccinated, whatever they had to do. And what else can you do? But people lost they lost 2 years of their lives staying in their house and not seeing their loved ones.
Because all the gyms closed.
Gyms closed, but you can still work out at home, and you can have a trainer come to your house, or you can work out outside. And my clients did that. And what happened was they got in such great shape, and people that didn't work out, okay, they got heart disease or cancer or diabetes or all these different diseases because COVID is, of course, it's serious.
Of course.
But, it's not the number one, it's not the number one cause of death. Okay.
I think more people die every year of heart disease.
Heart disease is number one,
obesity,
cancer is number two.
Diabetes.
Yep. So I think that people listen to the media and they become frightened. Oh my gosh, COVID, I'm going to die. They listen to political stations and they focus on that instead of focusing on their own health. Research everything. Don't take anybody's word for anything. Don't take my word for anything. Research everything, and that's the way to go.
I think every time you suggest a supplement to me, you always say that. You always say, don't take it from me, research it, and see if that's a good fit for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Art, where does your experience with supplements and nutrition come from? Because it's so incredible. I mean, you're pretty much a walking encyclopedia.
Well, I'm certified from the Huntington School of Science, okay? I've been studying alternative medicine for probably 30 years, and the experience comes from yourself and your family, taking supplements, recommending things to your clients, which is really important, and seeing the results they get. That's what makes me say, okay, yeah, we're doing the right thing, okay? So, of course, they go to their doctor and they get on certain drugs, but I'm saying, okay, research everything. Listen to your doctor, of course.
Absolutely.
But you want to research your supplements and make sure you're doing everything you can to be in good health.
Absolutely. And what combines in your training? Because I know that I've had the privilege of training with you a few times. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. When you got me on the balance ball the first time to do push-ups, I was like, this guy's crazy. There's no way I can do this. And here we are about a year and a half later, and now it's just second nature. So what I found in your training is that it's not just pushing weights or doing that. It's a very I would say it's a harmonious combination. Can you elaborate on like all the different things that you do in your workouts to help?
Well, for one thing, it's all a progress. You take somebody with hardly any experience and you gradually get them to feel confident in what they're doing. Okay, then you get them to do harder workouts. All right, we work on stability, which is rings. We work on strength through weight training. We work on high intensity workouts, which is real important. And people say, well, what's the best way to work out? Is it weight training? Is it running? I said, well, the best way to work out is to combine everything. You want to do a wide variety of things. So of course, we know that lifting weights increases your bone density, obviously, but you want to get that cardiovascular endurance. You want to get that, anaerobic capacity. And so we do a lot of high intensity workouts, hits.
Absolutely. And
we do a lot of balancing. We do stability. We do rings. We do everything. And I think the most amazing thing that I've seen in this out of my 25 years in New York City and here is that I can take a senior, okay, that has no athletic ability and they can do things that someone 30 years old can't do. All right. And one of our shows is going to be super fit seniors, which I'm real excited about. We're going to show people in their late 60s, 70s, middle 70s, and older doing fantastic things that most people can't do. And I think that's an exciting thing for anyone to really, grasp or realize, because anybody can do that as long as they have one thing: confidence in themselves, fearlessness, okay, being able to listen. And, the problem, a lot of people are just saying, I can't do that. I'm scared.
Yep. Because I was that way.
They see somebody doing something, I can't do that. It's like she's doing rings and she's super fit. And they say, wow, my parents can't do that. I can't do that. So we're going to show people that can really do all these fantastic, super fit things. And I think it'll help people to have the confidence to do things. We have a lot of great guests coming on. I've got some medical people. I've got some famous people, not so famous people. We got some regular people. And I got some people from the city coming up, some, maybe some celebrities, but they have one thing in common. They're successful in what they do. Why? Because they weren't afraid of experimenting with things. They didn't let anybody, change their life, to control their life. They took control of their own health, their own life, and they worked out. Exercise is so important. What are your workouts like?
My workouts, pretty much, once I started training with you way back in the past, you got me into rings and stability balls.
Right.
And that's been killer to my workout because it really tightens the body up. It strengthens your core, which is my weak point. And I remember that about you when I started training with you.
Right.
You said your core is not good and we need to work on that.
Right.
And so it's a combination of rings, which you taught me, stability ball, push-ups on the ball, and then doing high intensity training.
Right.
A lot of that. And then we have our weights day. So sometimes I do heavy weights to just get that mass.
And I think the important part of being able to be super fit is it changes your life. You don't think the same.
Absolutely.
Okay? People that never worked out before have this life where they depend on someone else to make them healthy, whether it's their doctor or whether it's their spouse or whatever. But I think that once you get to a point where you're super fit, it changes the way you think about yourself, about others, and it helps you control your own life because you have that, that drive, that feeling that I want to go to the gym and I want to experience a better workout than last time.
100%.
And that's what drives people to be, successful, to be happier. Because if you're in fear your whole life, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be you're losing what life's all about. Okay, you want to be healthy. You want to take control of that. Okay, so I think that's really important to have that on your mind. People say, well, I'm going to go to the gym, but I hate working out. Well, that's not the right attitude.
No, that's not the right attitude.
Okay, you want to go to the gym and say, okay, I'm not scared of doing anything. I have no limitations. And some people do, and then, that's it.
I think that you help your clients and the people that you train. You help them a lot believe in themselves.
Right.
How do you get that message across? How do you grab someone and you say you need to believe you can do it? What's the process of getting them to really believe that they can do that?
Well, the process is, for one thing, the people have to have that self-confidence that they're going to be successful. I can show them how to do it. Like, for instance, I've taken a lady that you'll see on film in our next podcast. She's in her 70s, and we were doing like push-ups on the rings and the ball, very hard stuff, but she couldn't do anything. Okay, I said, be patient, believe in yourself, believe in the progress, in the process. Okay, and she did. Gradually, now she's doing things that, my God, I can't even believe she's doing.
How long was that period of transformation?
You have to understand something. It's not how long did she get to a certain point. Every week, every month, she would get better and better, and the better she got, the more confident she got in herself. Okay? And so you have to have that confidence. You can't depend on anything negative in your life, because if you do, you're not gonna make it.
Absolutely.
Okay? People are dying of heart disease, and they're dying of cancer and all this stuff, There's so many things you have to. I think the most important thing you can do is exercise hard, work out, make that a part of your life. Research your supplements, eat right. I could talk about supplements and aging and all that, but this isn't the podcast.
You're
for that.
a walking Bible of supplements, Art. It's really incredible, and that experience is what, 50 years of experience with supplements?
Probably 50 years. Yeah.
I see.
I mean, I have clients that are medical doctors, that they follow my plan.
I know.
And they got into fantastic shape, and they're taking supplements, and it makes me feel like, wow, this guy is successful. He's taking control of his life, but what he's doing is he's thinking for himself. Okay, he's not thinking about, well, I learned this in medical school, or I learned that, but he's thinking for himself, and he's improving, whatever problems he has in his life. And that's about it.
One question that comes up very frequently, Art, from our viewers is, how do you do it? How do you get up and work out every single day, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 times a day? Because you never miss a single day. And not only that, you have energy and to train your clients, but you also bring devotion and attention to your clients. What gets you going and motivated to just keep this pace? Because I know I can't. I have to take a day off. Sometimes I take 2 days off. But you go all out. You never stop.
Right.
How do you do it?
I've been an athlete my whole life. I've competed in different sports, bodybuilding, etc. I think the more you train, it becomes part of your life. It becomes like a habit. If you don't do it, you say, I don't really feel good. I feel tired. I think that a lot of people say, I'm too tired. I don't want to work out. But once you start working out, you feel great. You get those endorphins. And if you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to be stagnated.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you want to have a lot of diversity in your workouts. Okay, if you can't run, you can walk. I think long distance running as you get older is not really good for you. But you can do high intensity like sprinting on the treadmill, or you can do the elliptical and incorporate that into your workouts. Do something different every single day. Okay, like 2 days a week I run sprints. I do rings 2 days a week. I spend a couple of days bodybuilding. I spend a couple days high intensity workouts like doing the sled and everything else. And of course you get sore, and that's what I think these CBD products help me out a lot.
Absolutely.
You know, especially the ointments. I got a sore shoulder. You rub that on and you're ready to go.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, there's a lot of times where people don't feel like working out, but if you just go through that feeling and say, yeah, I'm just going to go to the gym, I'm going to do it, and you leave saying, you know what, I feel great. You know, I'm in a good mood.
Exactly.
I'm not depressed anymore.
Exactly.
Okay. A lot of people have health problems, and they kind of give up. But I think if you can instill in them, you know, what they can do to overcome that, okay. Just because you have heart disease, it's not a death threat. You have to overcome that by doing certain things to heal your body, and I think that's real important.
Absolutely. Art, tell us about your book, Younger Body Now.
Your body now. That has to do with when I was in the city. You know, I went down there. I always wanted to be a trainer in the city. I says, "Wow, they're making a lot of money down there." So I said, "You know," but I had a chance to go out there, and I met this Orthodox Jewish community, which I got involved with, and eventually they became my friends. They became like family to me, and I really respected their religion. They're great people, and from there, you know, if you're good in the city, you're going to make it. If you're not good, forget about it. So I met some important people. I met some you know, producers and some actors. Eventually, I got some acting gigs because one of my directors said, "Hey Art, you know, I got this spot on my show Red Rum." Okay, and it was on Discovery Channel. He says, my actor quit. He says, "I'll send you." He said, "Do you want to do it?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So I read the script and I got on there and I did the first scene where this, you know, my neighbor's daughter's boyfriend shot him, and he's come walking through the woods. And he comes knocking on my door, 12 o'clock at night. And I go, "Oh my God, what happened?" And I just call 911. There's like 50 people out there, right? And the director comes. He goes, "Art," he goes, "That was terrible." My first acting gig, you know. So instead of freaking out, I just said, "Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna do it again." So eventually it came out good, and I got some other parts on the show. But I think you can't. If I had been afraid, like I'm not an actor, you know, what am I doing? But I had the confidence in myself that I knew I could pull it off.
And that's the confidence you instill in all the people you train.
Exactly.
Not to be actors,
Yeah,
obviously, but
for
to
sure.
push themselves and to believe in themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
And would you say that's the core of your program? Is that sort of like not a discipline and belief? You feel that contributes to your workouts?
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to have people that feel like they can do it. They have to have the confidence that I am going to be better. Okay? And if they don't have that confidence in themselves, they're not going to get better. I can only teach them a certain amount, but most of my clients that are doing these fantastic things had the trust and the confidence in themselves that I am going to go beyond a certain point.
Exactly.
I'm not afraid of going a step further. Okay? I'm going to take the whole route. I'm going to listen to my trainer. I'm going to do all these things. I'm not going to miss any workouts, and that's it. And so you can't live your life fearlessly and take other people's word for anything. You have to just research everything, and you know, don't listen to the media. Don't listen to anybody. Listen to yourself. Okay?
Is that fear that's being propagated? You feel because you talk about the media and you
Right,
talk about
yeah.
fear. How does that relate to the gym, to working out, to that environment? How do you connect those?
Well, you have two kinds of people. Some people that are afraid and they're unhealthy and they go to the gym and they're never going to get results because they don't have it in their mind to do that. They just don't have the ability. They're afraid of working hard. You know, exercise is tough. I don't want to do it, you know. And then you have the people that say, I want to get in the best shape of my life and I'm going to do it. Okay? Those people get great results. Not everyone can do what my clients or what other people in the gym are doing at a certain age. You know, and I train people of all ages. I was a coach for a long time, but now I prefer to train people that are older, that want to go a step further in their life instead of staying stagnated. Okay, for me, as a long career in personal training, it's not about the money anymore. It's about seeing someone be very successful in what they're doing and to change their life. When I see somebody changing their life, okay, whether they have, certain health problems or not, that makes me feel good.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
And I love training people that are just like really want to give me 100%. Okay, if you come to me and say, well, I want to start real slow and I can't do it, I don't want you as a client. Take somebody else. But I get someone that says, I'm willing to work my butt off for you. That's who I want, and that's the person that's going to be successful. I don't care how old you are, as long as you don't have something that's going to prevent you from working out, like bad knees or
Yeah, like an
shoulders
injury.
or you have heart trouble. I've had clients that have had Parkinson's and different things, and working out definitely helps them. But they have to have the mindset. If you don't have that,
Working out and supplementation as well.
Well, working out is the most important thing. Some people aren't going to, take supplements. They don't want to. And so I tell them it's not what you eat, it's what you don't eat, like processed food. And what you eat eats, okay? If you're eating meat and it's not grass-fed, of course, say the cow's eating chemicals,
The quality of food.
right, quality of food, okay? You're going to get those chemicals in the meat. If you eat, like for instance, the carnivore diet, if you eat just meat, you're getting grass-fed meat, you're getting all the benefits of the grass that they're eating.
The cycle.
Yeah.
I see.
So, but I think supplements are definitely important. And we're not going to get into it a lot today. That's another podcast. But today I just wanted to tell people what we're after and how, we're going to try to change people's lives, try to get them to think better. I want to get into meditation. I want to get into, mind control, different workouts. And I think that's the most important thing for us to do right now. And
How do you plan to inspire people through this podcast? By getting them into working out, getting them into supplementation or meditation, all these topics, just by getting them excited into that?
well, that's very, very simple.
Or
because-
losing the fear of that?
Because we're going to have some great guests on that have gone through that and have been successful in what they're doing. As I said, we have a show coming up, Super Fit Seniors, that I'm real excited about. And I think that that's going to be motivation for a lot of people. I think, I have people that are young. I have people that are medical doctors going to come on. I have some, as I said, some famous people, some average people, and they have the same thing in common. Okay, they're not afraid to take that next step into working out hard, taking supplements or whatever they want to do to change their life. That's it.
The art of living fearlessly.
The art of living fearlessly. Actually, it took us a long time to get that.
Yes.
To get that name
It took
at first,
a while. Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
We had a few names there that,
what are
that
we gonna
didn't
call
make the
it?
cut.
At first,
Super Fit, it
yeah.
was one.
well, at first I wanted just a podcast for working out, showing people that work out. But then I said, let's get into more detail about the way people think, how we can change the way people think in life. I mean, and I think that it was much more important. When we combine the physical aspect and the mental aspect and the spiritual aspect of life, that makes you more of a complete person, and you can become happier and deal with life on any circumstance.
Absolutely.
Everyone has, things happen in their life. They have a death in the family. People get sick. You get sick yourself, but you have to overcome that. And we're trying to teach people how to do that in this podcast. And I think having a wide variety of guests, I think that's really important to show people what they can do.
I feel that that's exactly right, because it exercise not only makes you feel good, gives you a better body,
Right.
but you keep saying fear, right? And you keep saying fearlessly.
Right.
And I feel that exercising, having that strict routine, or not a strict routine, but really believing in yourself, helps you deal with the fear that's out there. A lot of fear going around in the world right now, helps you deal with stress, helps you deal with, like you said, overcoming those difficulties.
I think once a person sees the results they're getting, they see that they feel better mentally and physically, spiritually. That's motivation for them to train harder. It's motivation for them to say, hey, you know what? my friends are my age, but they're old people. I'm not old anymore. I feel young. And, we all have to die in our life, but, getting old is just it's a number.
Death
Okay.
is the only prophecy you can count on, they say.
Right. But, I'm not, I've never been scared of dying. What you're scared of is being old and not being able to do anything that you love. So I think that when you keep yourself in control of your life by working out and keeping healthy, you're not scared anymore. Okay, because I want to be this fit when I'm 90 years old. Okay? And the way to do that is to keep on training harder and harder. And I think for me, I'm never going to retire because I love helping people on a certain level.
And Art, a lot of our viewers have been asking, the thought that's on their minds is, how old are you, Art?
How old? 45.
Younger buddy now.
Younger body now.
Awesome. Art, is there anything else that you want to say to our viewers?
That's about it. I just want to reiterate, you work out 7 days a week. I work out 7 days a week. To me, the lifestyle that I have is so important for me mentally and physically to be able to lead my life the way I do. And I think life is a process, okay? There's two ways you can look at it. You can grow old and be the same exact person as you were yesterday or 2 weeks ago or 2 years ago or 10 years ago. Or you can grow old and go through a process where you better yourself. Not just physically, but mentally and spiritually.
Never stop learning.
Okay? And I think that for me, every week I try to be a little bit better person. And I think working out helps me. I work out really hard. I study nutrition all the time. That's one of my hobbies. But I think we have to strive to be better people. Physically,
Absolutely.
mentally, spiritually. We're better husbands. We're better wives. Okay?
Better human
We're better
beings.
fathers.
Uh-huh.
Better human beings. So all these things come into play as far as being fit. It's not just about I'm going to work out and I'm going to be fit and it's going to be great and I'm going to feel good and all this stuff. No, it's about taking your life and being better. How am I going to be better? Okay? Helping people makes me better. Studying makes me better. Being a better person makes me better. Being more patient makes me better. All these different things. Okay? So I think that, I want to bring to a lot of these points on this podcast by bringing certain guests in, okay, by talking about people that have been successful. Why are they successful? Why is this guy successful and the other guy isn't? What are you doing that you're so successful in life that someone that does the same exact thing and isn't successful? What are you doing?
Right.
Okay? You're living your life the way you should be. No fear. No fear of failing. No fear of not being able to work out. No fear of listening to the news and because, oh my God, we're going to all die tomorrow because of the pandemic. No fear. And don't get me wrong, I know that COVID was serious. And I know that, we have to take precautions not to get COVID. And as I mentioned before, you wear your mask, get vaccinated. But then you have to go on with your life because if you don't, you're wasting years of your life.
For nothing.
For nothing.
Not
You're going to
growing.
get sicker
Yes. And weaker.
and weaker.
Yeah.
Okay? I think every disease, as long as it's not too far gone, and I'm going to get into mitochondria dysfunction on a later date, which means once your mitochondria age and become dysfunctional, then you age, you get cancer and all these things. And we're going to show you how to reverse that. High intensity exercise actually does reverse that. Okay, but unfortunately, the majority of the population can't do that because they're too sickly. They can't work high intensity to reverse that mitochondrial dysfunction. Okay, so there's other things you can do to reverse that.
There's a lot of studies about that with high intensity training.
High intensity is
Not
probably,
only that, but it improves also focus. It improves mental capacity. It not only is a kick-ass workout for your body, but it improves a lot of other areas.
Yeah, there's been a recent study done, and they said, well, what's the best exercise to do for working out? What should I do? Should I lift weights? Should I run? And the scientific conclusion is if you combine your aerobics and aerobic capacity with your strength training and your hits and your stability in one workout. Okay, that's the best way to work out. For instance, somebody could have a heart attack and they're saying, well, people can still do a high intensity workout the next day as long as they don't go too hard. So we try to combine all these different things in one workout and gradually increase the intensity so they're doing such hard workouts. People going, wow, their heart rate is up to 150 beats a minute or whatever. So I think that's the best way to work out, without a doubt. But you got to do it gradually. It's a gradual process.
Art Driscoll, The Art of Living Fearlessly. So we hope to keep seeing your podcast, and we hope to keep seeing you on the show.
Yes, and one more thing, our next guest is going to prove all my points. Okay.
Amazing.
And another shout out, just remember that if you're sore and you run down, use that Bolo CBD products.
I know I do.
And it'll change your life, man, as far as working out, man. You feel great. Okay, and that's it, and we'll see you guys next time. It's been a pleasure.